Yo, good morning. It's Guido coming at you with a tactics talk. I got my coffee. I hope you guys are ready for today's episode. It is moi in my STG, and we're going to talk about the power of W. The power of W. How many times have I said this, guys? W. It's a key on your keyboard. It's the top one. Anyway, that finger usually. I don't know if you have that finger. Some people use their forehead or their toe or their knee or their elbow. At least it seems like potentially do. But W, if that's how you have it mech'd, whatever the key or pedal or thing you use to make the tank go forward, sometimes backwards, but when I say forward, I mean forward into the battle. Go to the critical terrain. I want to do a series on this, but I'm going to try to bring it into each one of my videos. I believe on this map that the critical terrain is the ravine and the south part of it. If you could win the south, you own this map. From the south, you can move through the middle. You can come back up here if you need to come back. Of course, you can do that from any side. Or you can get into their backfield and start gobbling up their campers. Everybody who goes to the factory is taking themselves out of the game for the majority of the game. The only reason you go to the factory is to hide from Artie and to play turret games. Yep, you probably last a bit longer in the factories, but you're not decisive. Rarely are you decisive. I can't use these, it's not superlative, what's the word I'm looking for? Absolutes. Right, we can't always use absolutes. Somebody will always come back and say, you know, Guido, on this map, you can do this, you can do the other. If you have a platoon, noted. What I'm talking about are the high percentage plays. So I'm just going to start spotting people. Look at, I don't know. I don't know, guys. You know, sometimes you just run into a game like this. Why is the Scorpion G and the RHMB, especially the RHMB, out in the middle there? I don't know, but I like it. I like it. I think this RHMB is about to go back to garage, which he does, and that is 942 spotting, my friends. Somehow I didn't get all 1100, which I'm not quite sure what happened there. You know, the spotting thing is kind of odd sometimes. So I'm just taking a peek. There's only one Artie. One thing to think about when you take this ravine is if there's three Artie, it can be painful. The other thing, and you've seen this on videos before, especially Miserable Monday videos, had they sent 3 or 4 tanks in there and dug me out, I'd be out of the game. However, all that means is that I really needed some of those guys to come in with me, and this is the critical terrain, right? Just because the other team's not here right now doesn't mean it isn't the critical terrain. I consider this to be, on this map, the linchpin, the key to winning. So I poke a couple times, and I feel like maybe that Progetto has run away. I'm going to come up here and start looking for him. Break. Let's talk about this move for just a minute. One thing you must watch out for when you're getting out of this ravine and you start to think you're winning the south is what's going on up here in the factories, and if you get too far to the north, i.e. where the church is, they will start shooting you in the side from over there. This building right here is destructible. So once it gets knocked down, they have shots on you. There's also an opening there anyway. So be very careful. If the Progetto is sitting on the other side, I don't have a lot of time to sit there and let the VK-100 and the rest of them take shots. So I take a little exploratory move, not lit, because of proxy lighting rules of 50 meters. And, oh, there he is. Shit, that's not good. He is still there. Now I'm going to get out of here. All right, I don't want to stick around and let all those guys have a bunch of shots at me, so let's just bail out of this thing, see if I can get a shot. I do. He gets one on me, and I eat one more shot, and I get away. But I get a little bit more spotting. I'm already up to 2,232 spotting damage and 771 damage. Finally, my guys, come on, my guys, they're pushing in, and down goes the Progetto. They've lost a few more tanks along the way. I'm going to go ahead and turtle up against this area, and we'll go ahead and sneak into this. And based on what I'm seeing, counting noses, the Udez could be in this corner. And if he is over in K0, I'm in a little bit of trouble. That's going to be tough for me right here. I'm going to definitely take at least one hit, if not multiple. But I have a feeling he's not based on the amount of times I've popped out. And look at the Renegade just sitting out there in the open. He's taking hits. He's been engaged by these two, but he's not getting munched to death by an Udez, so it makes me feel like he's not nearby. Also, the ISU 152K is scary and could be there, but I really feel like they're either camping their middle ridge right here, along the 8 column or so, or they're back in the bushes, or potentially they're back supporting the guys that are fighting in the north. Now, our north has lost I love the AMX-50 and his buddy camping back there. That's fantastic stuff. And we have a bit of an advantage, but now we've got to make a little more use of this area over here. And this is tricky pushing into their campers. There's a lot of bushes over on the 0 column that are difficult to push through. Guys can sit kind of where they are right there. I am taking a chance getting lit because the same problem of getting crossfire happens right here, but the 100-01, one of them anyway, just died. Finally get a shot on the IS-3A. I'm going to use this hard cover to cover up against the guys in the factory, but I also have to watch for sneaky little shots through some of these little open areas from the middle. So we'll back in here, and now we'll get that W key going. I think I actually spent a little time messing around with Sniperino. You know, there's nothing wrong with a little Sniperino, right? Being careful, taking account of the situation. We are winning by quite a bit, but there's no reason to run into an UDES and a 152. I thought that building was destructible, but it's not. I get spotted by something. That surprised me a little bit. I don't know if the IS-3A saw me. He may have seen me through one of the little cracks right there. I'm not sure. And now we got guys pushing across. This is where I talk about looking at the mini-map, and the enemy team's evening it up a little bit, so we need to apply some pressure back here and stop letting them clean out the guys in the factory. So it is up to us. The Charioteer makes a runner across the open and doesn't die wholesale. That makes me feel like, and I maybe should have taken that shot, but I was afraid I was lit. So now I know where the 152K is, and I'm figuring the UDES is back in those bushes. Looking for a shot on him. I can't quite get a highlight. I'm not really sure why. Maybe there's a... Yeah, it looks like that building was in the way. Tiger 2 goes around and says, "How you doing?" Eats a shot. This allows me to come in, take a shot on him, and then back out. Charioteer goes after him. And I'll just push in here. He doesn't really have his gun online, and it looks like he's kind of given up. Shoot on the way in, but I don't get the damage. I'm at 2,300 assists, 1,593. And now we're to another part of the match that I highly recommend people learn how to do and get better at, and that is assess that the game is over and basically, and it is time to get in there and get damage. So I'll be the one to just push in. I actually get the shot on that guy. Notice the Tiger and the whatever else is back there is just kind of hiding. IS-6B. They know that there's an UDES hiding in there somewhere. I'm trying to see if maybe some shots are going into that dead Hulk. And I figure here in just a moment, I'll just go after the UDES, whatever. I was sort of hoping the Tiger or the IS-6B would push with their hit points. So we'll hang out here for a bit. And it's all over but the shouting. Even if the VK gets turned around in the factory after I get lit by the UDES, I should be able to survive it, or at least get one more shot of damage into the UDES. So I'll use the bushes to push in. The UDES is the only thing that's not lit. He can't be far. I'm surprised I didn't run into him yet. So he's up here, either on the tracks or on the other side of the tracks. And we find him right here, just hanging out on the tracks. So we put a chunk into him there at 419. He takes a couple more hits. Keep on pushing. And again, W, right? I'm just pushing in. Why am I getting closer? Because the dispersion is better when you get closer, right? Or I light more guys up, or I keep him lit and I get the assist. I'm at 2,429, 25 on the assist. This is going to end up being an ace tanker, mostly due to the power of W. Right? That made me laugh. That made me laugh. The last shot, a crit, no damage. Does he get the last one? Yes, he does. Got him. 2 kills, 2,410 damage, 2,925 assist, largely due to pressing W. Largely due to pressing W. If you want to get better at this game, if you want to do more damage, if you want to get better experience, you have to learn all about the W key, which is not YOLO into them, but you do need to get forward. I just get more experience and damage than most people out there because I drive to the fight. I go to the critical terrain nearly every time, sometimes not, based on matchmaking and tiering and things like that, but usually, or I am in the vicinity of, i.e. a scout, of the critical terrain, so that I am always attempting to either create shots or assist in creating shots the whole game. Not the last half, not the first half. I want to survive, but I also want to be in the mix putting the shots down range, getting the damage, getting the experience, and it starts with W, and from there you've got to have a good plan. But the power of W is pretty good in this game. You only have so much time to do damage. This game lasted, what, 7 minutes and 17, 18, whatever it is, 17 seconds, something like that. That's it. 7 minutes or so to get the damage that you're going to get in, and you've got to press W to do that. We'll take a look at what the 5100 did. He's dead now, but he camped most of the game back there. But we'll take a look at what he did on the cards when we get there. That's all I've got for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one, and we will see you.